Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently working on building our fleets back up a little bit, while watching the Urzuku regulators just slowly push over towards us. Of course, our economy is improving at this point, and that is very, very good. I would love to get all of our gateways completed, and we're getting fairly close to that as well. So we've got some definite things happening here. Exotic gases are going negative. Okay, that is certainly noted. We're going to have to deal with this sooner rather than later. So that is fine. We could kick the can down the road by just buying some. And that's probably what's going to end up happening here, because we don't have a lot of world growth happening at this moment. So I'm just going to buy in an extra 100 exotic gases for the moment. That'll be fine. Okay, so with that in progress, let's check in on how our construction ships are doing. So we have one gateway site finishing up in Markaz. Okay. So this should be our final gateway site, and that would be absolutely phenomenal. We would, of course, be delighted to have that be our final location. So we need to get a bunch of alloys at this moment, but minor artifacts are still going to be our most pressing concern. So let's go ahead and hit our reinforce button and see where that puts us. 351. Okay, I'm going to put in an admiral over here. There we go. Looks good. And the tsunami fleet, as we can see, is fully reinforced at this point. So that looks fine. And I'm definitely keeping an eye on these guys here. They could theoretically make a run at Markaz, which would be problematic for us for multiple reasons. We don't actually have our gateway here yet. We're 90% done, but we'll see how long they get tied up over this way. So for now, that's reasonably fine. We do have a Titan in production at this moment, but our primary lack, again, is going to be the minor artifacts. How are we doing on our Triumph active? Okay. So that's going to be a while before we are able to activate the rubricator again. Absolutely noted. So we might have to dial down on our ship quality, because we're going to be lacking a lot of minor artifacts. So for the moment, that's understood. We know that we're going to need 10,000 minor artifacts. So if we do a little bit of basic math here, we know that we're making 28 per month here. So 10,172 divided by 28 per month, that is 364 months. Rounding that up because we, of course, only get them on the month tick. So that's a ways out there. No doubt about that. That is a very long ways out there. So the ISS Clever Clam is currently doing science ship automation up over here. Sure, that's understood. I would actually like to bring that back, though, and start doing some of the anomalies back over here. So let's make our way back this way and start investigating back here. And we can also queue up researching anomalies in some of these areas. So that would be something kind of like this. There we go. And that'll be fine. We're not doing this in any sort of a, tremendously optimized path, but we should be able to move our way around fairly quickly. So there's a bunch of that we definitely want to have going on. Okay, cool. So, here in Markaz, our gateway site, we're going to want to upgrade this basically as soon as possible. So we're going to hop in here. And we're currently at 4.3k alloys. We're going to need more alloys than this to upgrade, I think, right? No. How much is it that we need to upgrade a gateway? 2,500. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to get that going, and then I want this guy to immediately come over to, Targon, and we're going to start constructing a megastructure out over here. I'd love to construct an arc furnace, but I don't think that's an option, right? Yeah, not an option. I didn't think so. So we're going to build a habitat central complex out over here. And that will keep our construction ships busy for a while. We are going to see a large reduction in the amount of alloys that we need to put into that. However, alloys aren't our primary concern at this moment. Exotic gases are definitely a bit of a concern, and I'm just checking through here to see if any of these orbital rings are going to need further upgrades. Looks like the answer to that is no. So that seems fine for now. Okay, so Gateway in Azeroth is done, and of course this Gateway, that's going to be done in about 1,200 days, or about 3 years, so that's fine. But we definitely need a large amount of additional minor artifacts. That's going to be huge. So let's hit this reinforce all button for now, and we'll continue to utilize some of these minor artifacts. But the minor artifacts, those are definitely going to be the concern going forward.
Handshake protocols activated.
As far as replenishing our fleets go. So that is understood. And right now we can see we're at about 34-36% on those destroyers. That's fine. We can also see that the Urzuku regulators are not moving very quickly over here right now. So that is a saving grace for us, for sure. And there's a lot of galaxy fleets down over here. They might be finally starting to take the Urzuku regulators slightly seriously. So that would be nice. Okay. So minor artifacts are our primary lack at this moment, and we can't get any minor artifacts via any actions other than activating the rubricator, as far as I'm aware. That will generate 500 minor artifacts, which is great. We definitely want those minor artifacts, but that is not enough. We know that we need roughly 10,000 of them, so that's going to be very, very significant. No doubt about that. How are we doing on our research on advanced shield hardeners? 52 months on that? Okay. Noted. So that's all reasonably fine there. We can continue to reinforce some fleets here. And that's going to be 4 destroyers. Yep, and we can see that that brings us down to 229 minor artifacts. So each of these destroyers, if we go in here, each of these destroyers is... Let's see, where are we? Destroys 41 minor artifacts. Okay, that is very significant. And we are going to run out of exotic gases soon enough. That is also absolutely understood. So, checking through our worlds here, we're still working on growing into all of that housing that we built when we had the storm. So that is absolutely something to think about. So this means that we're going to have a surplus of alloys, and the question is, where is that balance going to be? Because we're going to have these construction ships constantly constructing, but we may want to have a 4th construction ship going here. I'm going to get one going, and if we have an idle construction ship, that's not the end of the world. That'll be absolutely fine. So what we really need to do is get these minor artifacts consumed, right? But the construction ship should be produced fairly soon here. Yeah, that's currently about half done. So I'm just going to give it a moment here. That construction ship will finish, and we'll have that go out into Vestalis as soon as that is done. So 3.3k alloys at this moment. And we're definitely going to want to continue to work on filling out these fleets. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so there's that construction ship finished. So that is this one. So we're going to head to Vestalis, and once here, this is actually already done. So we're going to head to Euchromia then instead. So we're going to come down over here, and we can build a megastructure out over this direction. There we go. That'll do. And now I want to hit this reinforce fleet button. That'll be 4 more destroyers, which brings us down to 99 minor artifacts. As I said, minor artifacts are going to be our primary lack as of right now. So that is absolutely understood. We can even queue up 2 additional, but now we are officially out of minor artifacts. We have less than a month's supply, and that's definitely going to be problematic for us in terms of rebuilding our fleet. That's fine, though. I'm not actually that concerned about it. So we do have the Deluge sitting here because we have that Titan coming out. That'll get finished eventually, and we're just keeping an eye on this situation out over here. So Markaz Station, how upgraded is this? This is actually pretty upgraded. It's not maximized, but it doesn't really need to be. What about Demi Vito? How's this? It's moderate. Okay. Noted. So I'm going to move both of these guys up to Radar Central for now. That'll be fine. Okay, and checking in here, we can see we have 4 gateway sites in the process of upgrading. That looks fine. And then, of course, we've got our Science Nexus and our Strategic Coordination Center, which are places we can put additional alloys. We're going to be, as you can see here, we only got 1 destroyer there on that month tick, and we're able to build about 1 of these ships every other month at this point. Although this was one of those months, apparently. We're able to queue up a Corvette for the Deluge Fleet. Okay, I specifically want to be reinforcing the tidal wave here. Yeah, so that's what we want to be working on for now. We cannot afford to get this because we need 2 minor artifacts, and that's absolutely understood. So out of curiosity, we've got our science chip up over here, right? And I'm wondering, does this guy have the trait? Yes. Chance to discover a minor artifacts deposit upon excavating an archaeology site plus 5%. Okay, I just wanted to double check that. But that's specifically an archaeology site. Right, that is not to do with these anomalies. Okay, that's definitely unfortunate. I had hoped that it would have the opportunity to generate off of anomalies, but no. That's sad. But I guess I get it. That's fine. So the tidal wave is going to continue to be worked on, and for the moment, this is fine. We're going to be producing that
complete.
Titan for a while. And
Handshake
this starbase
protocols
just finished.
activated.
Okay, so Kunides Prime here, this is a generator world. We would definitely want to put in stratospheric ionization elements, which we do not have enough exotic gases for. So we're going to need to buy in some exotic gases. We'll sell some zero and some dark matter to be able to do that. There we go. That'll keep us afloat for a while. And then we need to come down over here and build like that. Okay. Research agreement, we are going to decline that for sure. Wonderful. Okay, just checking through our orbital rings there. That all looks good for the moment. Cool. So we've got 4 construction ships working on building habitats. We're not too concerned about, like, maximizing our habitat situation, but we'll have them be busy for now. That seems fine. And I would love to continue to reinforce specifically the tidal wave here. So we'll get that going. That was 2 destroyers. So yeah, minor artifacts, they're going to be a problem. We definitely expect that, though. So the tidal wave is pretty close to being completed, actually. In terms of what it, strictly speaking, needs, we can go in here, and I don't know that this is strictly accurate. No, I don't think it is. Because we can see it's going to cost a lot more than that. That's all there is to it. We are definitely making good progress on it. We're going to require 9 cruisers and a battleship, though, so that's going to take a little bit of time. So we have a timed project? Wait, debris and terminal egress. And it's about to time out. I don't think we're going to be able to get that. That's unfortunate. This is 40 days away, and I would have really loved to get that. I never noticed that that was there. I should have. Does that go away if you don't start it, or if you don't finish it within 40 days? Let's jump drive over to Radar Central. And once there, I want to head up and research the project in terminal egress. If we can get there in time to grab it, that would be great. If we don't, well, it's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. We will have other opportunities to get that tech, but I would definitely love to grab that. I should have noticed that earlier. Okay, so where did we actually jump to here? Okay, so that's going to be slow. We have 20 days left. And where is the debris at? I don't think we're going to get there in time. Man, I should have noticed this. That's my own fault. Yep, 5 days left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's gone. Okay, so that's understood. We do have clear the pipes here, apparently. Sure. That seems fine. And it was worth a try, but yeah, I waited too long. Well, more like I didn't notice it until too late. So we're going to come back over here, and actually I'm going to just put this on science ship automation, specifically to investigate anomalies. Okay. There we go. Filters
Special project
unclogged.
complete.
Sure. So that gives us transgenic crops research. That's absolutely fine. So we're going to need more consumer goods. I'm going to buy in 5,000, but you can see our deficit there is down to 134. So that's definitely making progress. I'm definitely a little angry at myself for not noticing the thing up there. We've had so many things happening recently, though. I just assumed that I didn't miss it, or that I didn't notice it, rather. I should have gotten that earlier. No doubt about it. So our exotic gases are at -9 and volatile motes are at -0 right now. But as I said before, we have on most of our worlds a very, very large deficit of people doing jobs. So that's definitely something to think about. This is our empire pop right now. We've got 1183, and we definitely want that to be increasing. So we're certainly going to be working on that. Let's continue to work on reinforcing the tidal wave here. So that is going to be an additional 3 destroyers, which should actually max out our destroyer count here. So that's looking good. We're then going to need 9 cruisers and a battleship to get this fleet maxed. Beautiful. And these guys, they've not made significant progress, so that looks fine. If we get enough, then we'll start working on probably our science nexus, to be honest. So there's a gateway site finishing. That's good. So yeah, we'll probably work on our science nexus next. Our primary, constraint on building our fleets is minor artifacts, and that's deeply, deeply unsurprising. So we've got 773 days here until we can activate the rubricator again, and we would love to activate the rubricator again. That'll give us 500 minor artifacts, and that would be glorious. Absolutely amazing to do that. Let's check in on the price here. The price of alloys is really low. I'm going to buy in a little bit. That'll be fine. And that'll get us to the point where we can upgrade our science nexus faster. We're not quite there yet,
Research
but
complete.
Definitely making progress. And there's nutrient replication. So that's going to get us a lot more food. And we also got transgenic crops as an option. Okay, that's a repeatable tech. Noted. For now, I'm thinking that we can grab something like this just as a reroll / cleanup. That'll be fine. So more gateways are going to be finishing up, allowing us to get around much more quickly, which would be great. And that Titan is going to be done in, 8%. So we're definitely making good progress on that. How long is that going to take? 2 months. Sure. So the Deluge is going to get a lot more powerful once that happens, of course. And just overall, we need a lot of ships. How are we doing, in fact, on this? So we can see that we need about 9,284 minor artifacts. Again, that's our primary limiting factor at this moment, is our artifact generation. The alloys, I'm not too concerned about. So for now, that seems reasonably fine. Another gateway site finished up. We're only working on 2. And that Titan, very shortly going to be done. So that's all very, very good. And the minor artifacts are up to 119 at this point, so we can definitely get more going into the tidal wave here. So that was 2 cruisers out of the 9 that we need. Beautiful. So that was slightly over 22%? Something along those lines? That's really not bad. We're making reasonable progress on the minor artifacts. So we know that we need 60-ish minor artifacts per cruiser. So that's going to be roughly 2 months, although it's going to be 2.2 months. It's not exactly evenly divisible, but that's fine. So that looks absolutely okay for the moment, and our alloy count is looking good too. I'm going to buy another bunch of alloys here. And now that the month tick has gone by, that means we can get this science nexus working. Beautiful. So let's get that underway, and then we just need some minor artifacts to continue to work on reinforcing the tidal wave. We can see that Titan did finish up, so the Deluge is now going to head up to Terminal Egress to meet with the other fleets. Pass. We're not going to do that for now. But look at that. Our deficit for consumer goods, under 100 now. Beautiful. We can also see that the Urzuku regulators, they're taking a really long time to move past these colonized planets. So that's a very good thing for us. Now, we do have Radar Central here ready to go. So that, of course, means that this habitat complex should be colonized by us. Low habitability on our own habitat? Okay, whatever. I guess we'll have these guys go in there. So that seems fine, and now what we need to do is we need to go around and build our orbitals. So we can have the game unpaused while we do that. Around Gleaming Shell, we would build a major orbital. This would be a minor orbital. I don't believe we can build one around Radar Station Alpha. No, we cannot. So that's fine. We would come out to this asteroid and build a minor orbital there. And then we can't build one over the star, I don't think, because of the Dyson Swarm. Yes, that is correct. So next up would be a major orbital here, just checking to see if there's any other asteroids in this asteroid belt. I don't think there are. And then we can build a major orbital here. This would be a minor orbital. Wonderful. And then over here at Heavy Anchor, after the autosave, we would build a major orbital and then a minor orbital. Looks good. And I believe that that is everything here in Radar Central. Unless we can build an orbital around the Astral Rift. No. Okay. Makes sense. So that is absolutely fine. And we're going to get that colony ship produced nice and quickly. So that will keep our construction ship busy there for a while. And I do want to hit this reinforce all button, but we're actually going to do it this way because I specifically want this to go to the tidal wave. So that's another 2 cruisers on the way in there. Looks good. So the total number of cruisers going into the tidal wave here, I believe we are at 5 now. I believe that's half. So that's really, really solid. Then we just need the 1 battleship. So that looks great. We're just going to need... Well, we're actually able to get another one going here, which we should do. Cool. There we go. So that looks wonderful for now. They're definitely bogged down over here. That's buying us a lot of time, which is really, really good. We've got a long ways to go on building our ships. No doubt about that. I would love to activate the Rubricator. We can do that in about 500 days. We want to do that as soon as possible. That is a very high priority to get that back on cooldown. I really wish that we could run it twice with lateral artifacting. But unfortunately, you can only have 1 relic active once, if that makes any sense. So with this being on cooldown, we'd be able to activate another one, like one of these. Spawning pops, for example. But that would reset our Triumph time, which we would not want to do. We would want to do that basically immediately after we activate the Rubricator. So we'd activate the Rubricator, the Triumph would go on cooldown, and then we would run the lateral artifacting astral action, and then we'd activate the Omni Codex to spawn pops on our planet to fill some of these jobs.
Construction
That
complete.
is something that we would do in about 400 days. So that is fine for now. I want to hop down over here and take a look through these. Yeah, nothing
Research
really
complete.
going on there, although the Vala station is definitely able to be upgraded. So we're going to put in a pair of trade hubs there. And then probably going to put in... What are we interested in here? A storm attraction array, maybe? Sure, something like that. Okay, so we now have the ability to do habitability modification. Sure, that'll be fine. Another gateway constructed in Nunki. That's perfect. And all we're waiting on now, I think, is the one in Markaz. Yeah. So that's looking very solid. Let's head up to the tidal wave again, and let's hit this reinforced fleet button one more time. So that gets us another pair of cruisers. That should bring us up to 8 cruisers in total, I believe, if my math is correct here. So that's very good progress.
Building a new home.
But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to continue to work on building our fleets up in preparation for dealing with the Urzuku regulators. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri M, Dimitri H, punching the microphone. I got a little ahead of myself there, I think, with the M in microphone. Okay, that was exciting. The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.